You give a little, I'll give a little. Let's get together.
You give a little, I'll give a little. Come on, let's get together.
In 1961, Walt Disney's The Parent Trap captured hearts around the world. At its center was a young, golden-haired girl named Hayley Mills, only 15 at the time, and beside her, the rugged, charismatic actor Brian Keith, playing her father. Together, they became one of cinema's most beloved on-screen families. But behind that laughter and father-daughter chemistry was tension, frustration, and an emotional rift that Hayley Mills has only now, at 79, chosen to reveal. She said, "For years, people thought we were close. The truth is, I didn't like Brian Keith at all. I even hated him for a while." What could have caused such bitterness between two of Disney's biggest stars? The fairy tale begins. Hayley Mills was Disney's golden girl, hand-picked by Walt Disney himself after her performance in Tiger Bay. By the early 1960s, she was one of the most famous teenagers in the world, starring in Pollyanna, The Parent Trap, and That Darn Cat. When she met Brian Keith on set, he was already a seasoned actor, confident, masculine, and commanding. To audiences, he was the perfect father figure. But to young Hayley, he was intimidating. She once said, "He had this booming voice and a presence that filled every room. I was still a child, and he treated me like a grown-up professional. I didn't know how to handle that." At first, she mistook his discipline for cruelty. Brian, a Marine Corps veteran, believed in efficiency and precision on set. He hated mistakes, wasted time, or childish behavior. And Hayley, still learning, made plenty. She remembered one moment vividly. "I flubbed a line, and he sighed so deeply. It made me want to cry. From that moment, I thought he despised me. So I despised him right back." Years of silence. After filming ended, Hayley avoided Brian at publicity events. The two rarely spoke, and when The Parent Trap became a hit, reporters often asked about their close friendship. Hayley would smile politely, but inside, she felt resentment. As she grew older, she realized that the pressure she felt wasn't hatred. It was fear. She had been a teenager in an adult world, surrounded by older men telling her how to act, dress, and behave. Brian's authority reminded her of that imbalance. For decades, she carried that discomfort in silence. It wasn't until after Brian Keith's tragic death in 1997, when he took his own life following illness and personal loss, that Hayley began to reflect on their relationship differently. In an emotional interview years later, she said softly, "I understand now that Brian was fighting his own demons. He wasn't cruel. He was broken. And I was too young to see that." Forgiveness and understanding. At 79, Hayley finally spoke her truth publicly. She revealed that her hatred had really been misplaced pain, the confusion of a child forced to grow up too fast. She said, "I wish I could tell him I never really hated him. I was just scared. He taught me more about acting, discipline, and life than I realized back then." Today, Hayley remembers Brian Keith not with anger, but with gratitude. She often re-watches The Parent Trap, not as a reminder of tension, but of connection. He was gruff, yes, but he was also kind. And deep down, he cared about me more than I ever knew. Time has a way of revealing truth. For Hayley Mills, that truth came decades later. The realization that what once felt like hate was really the shadow of misunderstanding, fear, and growing up too soon. At 79, she no longer carries bitterness, only memories, lessons, and love for the man who helped shape her greatest role. Thank you for watching. If you believe that forgiveness is the truest form of strength, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more untold Hollywood stories.